I'm Holly Wong with Yi Law Group. We have Mike Yi here from Yi Law Group, who has worked in the industry for about 13 years as an estate planner. According to a recent survey, Mike, only about 40% of American adults have a will or a trust. That percentage drops dramatically for younger age groups. For example, only about 19% of people ages 13 to 34 have a will or a trust. Why is it so important for people in that age bracket to have one?
Yeah, thanks, Holly. That's a great question. First of all, you're never too young to have an estate plan. The sad truth is people of all ages pass away and life is very unpredictable. For example, I had a phone call from parents today whose daughter was actually in the hospital and she had gotten COVID recently. And, they were trying to get something in place because she was going to go on a respirator later that day. And I unfortunately let them know there's probably nothing we could do at that point to help them. And she owns some assets like a house and bank accounts. And unfortunately, it's going to have to go through some probate process. So the sad fact is you just don't know when your time is going to come. So it's better to plan early when you can. And I know estate planning can be a very emotional subject to talk about. Just again, later today, I had a consultation with a family and the wife got very emotional because she had to think about, like if she's not around, what's going to happen to her minor child, who's going to help raise her. So she did start tearing up. So I know it could be a tough subject to deal with, but I'm always on the thought process, you might as well get it done, before, someone has to do those circumstances and take care of that in the future if they're not around.
So what about people who are similar to me, where they may not have children or they may not own any real estate? What would be the point of having an estate plan?
Sure, that's a great question. There are a few problems with that line of thinking. For example, with yourself, I know you don't own real estate, but you have a thriving business. So, for example, your main asset is your business, and that could be a huge asset in the future as well as it keeps growing. So for young people that don't own real estate, a lot of times they have at least a business that's their main asset. And if you pass away, a lot of times, I know you have a business partner, so you might want that business to go to your partner who knows more what to do with it than like your family members who would probably have no idea what to do with your business if something happened to you.
So with everything that's going on in my business, estate planning seems like it would be pretty expensive. It just seems like a cost I don't really want to take into consideration.
Sure, no, I understand. Yeah, we all have a lot of bills to deal with, and a lot of times estate planning is probably last on the list. But there are a lot of things that are expensive, like buying insurance or buying a house, or obviously money for your business. You're doing all that to obviously make your family's life better. And then with estate planning, it's the same concept. You're not only doing it mainly for yourself, but also your family members. Like if something happens to you, it honestly mainly benefits your children. If you have children in the future, or if you have a spouse or a partner, it mainly affects them. So you're really doing it for your family members that you're trying to take care of.
Well, with everything that you're listing, it seems like that's a lot of work. I wouldn't really know where to get started.
It is a lot of work, but for us, we have a great process in place. Normally most people will call our office to schedule a consultation, and then we'll send you an initial questionnaire to fill out. And like anything, anything important, you do want to take some time filling out, like put in there, like who's going to be in charge of your estate if something happens to you, or, where you'd want your estate to go. But yeah, most of the time we just tell our potential clients, just fill it out the best you can. And then during the consultation, I'll go over it with them, and then I'm pretty good at helping them fill it out the rest of the way, and then making sure we get to the point where we're able to sign their documents, before something happens.
So I suppose it's in everyone's best interest to start thinking about their estate plan as soon as possible.
I totally agree with you on that subject. That's how I personally feel. Everyone should have a living trust in place that, owns some assets. Estate planning is no exception. I know that, a lot of times people could put it off like anything. But if you put off estate planning too long, unfortunately, you may not get it done before something happens. And, there are huge consequences for that in the future. So please don't hesitate to contact our office to schedule a consultation as soon as possible. So I'd be happy to speak with you on those.